everyone, and welcome to the special Build 2021 episode of New Breakpoint. We have a couple of great segments on today's show, so if you'd like to join in, please use the chat window next to the video to post your questions, and we'll get to them. I'm Elizabeth Fuller, and I work within the Azure Business Group here at Microsoft Australia, and also serve as the co-lead on the Girls in Tech initiative. I'm really excited to be joined by our co-leads, Matt Furse, and our amazing partners at Girl Geek Academy to share more around the initiatives we're working on to support the next generation of technologists. In the second half of the show, we will have Microsoft Cloud Solution Architects Stuart Eggerton and Nick Price proving how you can scale from zero to global with their dad's taxi demo built on Azure. Well, just to share a bit of background, so the purpose behind the Girls in Tech initiative is really centered around inspiring and educating young women in high school and university to choose STEM and AI-related subjects and careers. And our programs are really designed to engage them in the critical dropping points when we lose girls, particularly focusing on year 7 to 10 girls when they choose subjects in high school. And also in university when they make career pathway decisions. Currently, only 17% of Australian IT and engineering university graduates are female, and we know we can do better. So as a leading cloud organisation, we're very passionate and committed to partnering with schools, universities and social enterprises to really play a role in ensuring that the future of the STEM industry has a diversity of experiences and perspectives. So now I'll hand over to Matt to just share a little bit more around our partnership with the Girl Geek Academy. So Matt, over to you.
Thanks, Lizzie. Yeah, I get really energized by the partnership that we have built with Girl Geek Academy. We're both striving, as Lizzie said, to empower young women with coding skills and to help create connection amongst them and a community of all those like-minded mates. We launched Microsoft Mondays as a pilot program sort of back in February now. To focus on helping these year 7 to 10 girls to build their technical skills and with a particular focus on artificial intelligence. Not only is AI one of those technology areas that is so full of incredible promise, it's also one of those areas that would really benefit from having more diversity in a dramatic way. What do I mean? Well, the AI Now Institute actually published a paper previously talking about the lack of diversity in the AI field. All the way from research, all the way through the data they use to train models and the applied use of the technology in the field. So if we're going to really empower everybody to be successful with this type of technology, we need to create a better reflection of the world around us. And so we have, to make the technology live up to the promise, we need more diverse groups working on AI at all stages of its development. So the program at Girl Geek Academy helps cover is basically building different practical skills, from creating a website to building chatbots to face tracking applications, drawing with code, and using really popular languages like Python. So I think I speak for all of us when I say I've sort of been surprised and delighted by the community that's sprung up around this program, and just how engaged the girls are with all the content. I hope that the spark amongst them all continues to burn bright, and that we start to see the potential that they each have grow up inside of this, and they have a real impact with the technology. So to tell you more about Girl Geek Academy and the program and sort of what's happening, I'll hand over to Sarah, Laura and Ruby from Girl Geek Academy to share more about the background, the program, the engagement to date, and what we've learned.
Thanks so much, Matt. My name's Sarah. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Girl Geek Academy. And we were just delighted, as you were, with the community that has sprung up around this program. So at Girl Geek Academy, we started building programs for women after we ran the world's first all-women hackathon in 2014. And we very quickly realized that if we'd have started teaching children 10 years ago, we could be hiring them today. So now, we've been able to form this partnership where we can work with girls who are in that critical age between year 7 and 10 to be able to really, teach them new skills, but also have conversations and really engage about why and how we build things. So, it's been really great to work with a number of different volunteers across Microsoft in the program, and that impact has been felt by over 450 high school girls across Australia, and the impact has hit just over 150 schools Australia-wide. I might introduce you to Ruby, because Ruby and Laura have been hosting our girls every Monday.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Ruby. I am a proud Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander woman. I'm new to Girl Geek. I only started this year, but being Girl Geek, I've learned a lot. I'm an artist first and foremost, but I have been really interested in like coding and stuff. So this has been a really great experience for me, as much as it has been for the girls as well. So we're all learning together and stuff. I'm also a bit of a Twitch streamer as well. So I stream on Twitch and play video games and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell.
And Ruby is our Minecraft expert.
Yeah. I spent hours on that game.
And my name's Laura. I am definitely a girl geek, but I'm also an independent video game developer, and I've been doing so for about 5 years now. And I really love making small little games that are really designed to be experiences that anyone can pick up and enjoy, kind of regardless of tech literacy. So, for example, I've made a game, Pigeon Game, which is about picking up birds and holding them in your hand, and it kind of has spoken to a really large, diverse group of people, which has been really amazing. In my work at Girl Geek Academy, teaching, underrepresented groups, women, non-binary people, how to use tech and make tech. It's really been really kind of fantastic for me to see other people kind of develop a love for making things with technology that I kind of developed 5 years ago. So it's been a really powerful thing to be a part of.
Yeah, and so, the impact behind the work that we've been doing, I think that this has come at a really critical time, particularly coming out of COVID when, we can't have physical face-to-face events as much as we'd like to. Originally, when Matt and Lizzie and the team, we were talking about what is the need that we wanted to fill, and we were originally talking about physical events. But what has been delightful is to understand that instead of running physical events, we can hit so many more young people, connecting them online. So the programs run from 4:30 till 6 o'clock after school on Monday afternoons, and that's every Monday afternoon. And so if you ever were young and came home from school and used to watch cartoons, instead on a Monday, you flick on Girl Geek Academy and Microsoft Mondays, and you learn a bit of AI and coding. And so it's really been nourishing at that point in time where girls are looking to learn, looking to connect, and really developed friendships that will help them succeed into the future. So I might hand over to Ruby to explain a little bit about what it feels like to go to one of the sessions.
Yeah, so a lot of these sessions are set up online, like watching a live stream. And at the start of every workshop, the girls will come in, and even before we actually start, they'll just hang out in the lobby and like chat to each other. It's really lovely to like see, because they're just like asking each other how they've gone like in the week and stuff. So there's like a chat function. So we'll run like our videos, which are always pre-recorded of us teaching what the subject is, like AI, for instance, or coding with Python. The girls will blow up the chat as always, because they're so enthusiastic and they're just like, they really love it. And they'll have conversations with each other, and they'll help each other in the chat as well. And the content that we've covered throughout the workshops has been a variety of stuff that I didn't think I would actually have an interest in until I actually joined Girl Geek Academy and, was involved in these workshops. And we've done stuff with like chatbots and like creating our own games with GB Studios, and even working with MakeCode, Microsoft MakeCode, which actually I use in my free time, just mucking around and stuff. I've just learned so much, learned about like JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and even learning about Python. And now when I first started, I wasn't comfortable. I didn't know anything about like coding in Python, but now I can like safely say that I'm actually feeling a little bit more confident than I was when I started. Like I actually am like, oh, I'm pretty deadly. Like I know how to code in Python now. So, but yeah, we've like made so many games and done so many things with everything that we've learned for the workshops. And and
it's been really great, as Ruby said. So Ruby comes from an arts background, and being able to apply that that sense of making things beautiful on the internet. Both Laura and Ruby have really been able to bring that, and to learn out loud as well. So it's okay to make mistakes. Oh my goodness, have we made mistakes, Laura?
Oh, definitely.
Might hand over you to talk about the mistakes. No, I'm joking.
We made a few, but it's fine. Yeah, but we do kind of, in a really general sense, really try to make the content be focused on self-driven learning, where we, in part, teach the girls how to teach themselves and give them the resources and encouragement to further their learning, during and after the workshop. So yeah, as Sarah said, we really emphasize that it's okay to make mistakes, and we actually celebrate when we have bugs. We really want to, instill with the girls this ethos of, it's not that I'll never be able to do it, I just don't understand how to do it yet. And that's been like a really powerful thing that I think a lot of the kids who come along to the workshops have found.
And a lot of the engagement within the chat and the workshops has been really positive and really active. Like, we've gotten we get regulars. Like, we get a large group of regular girls that come in and stuff, and they have their own little inside jokes with each other. They've formed quite a bond with each other, and they're so funny. Like, oh yeah, they're just unreal. Like, and they know each other's birthdays and stuff like that, and it's just really nice to see that, like, they're really like close with each other in a way.
And we know that that's the key to success. So when we think about how we're going to change the ratio and how we're going to get more women into the workforce and a part of what we do, it's absolutely, friendship is critical, like when they turn around and need support, they can get that from each other. And that's really what we've built in from the start. So, it's a very inclusive environment, and they all just feel like they belong. And so to be able to start from that place, at the very beginning, then anything else is just technical. And they all feel included by default. And so it's a really, really great sense of belonging that we're very proud to have been able to work with Microsoft to help build.
Yeah, and they've definitely formed a little community with each other. And that's the one thing that's important is like having a community around you that are into the same things as you as well. Like, that's so vital to any person's growth as an individual, especially in this industry and just anything in general. Like,
and as a high schooler.
Yeah, as a high schooler, Yeah, especially as a high schooler. I mean, you're going through so many things at that age. Like,
a bit further into the series, these sessions have really changed from this more general chit chat into being much more personal. And as we've mentioned, there's been inside jokes and stuff. And this kind of idea of this building of a community is actually a bit of like an ethos of Girl Geek Academy. We want to be creating communities of women and girls to bring each other up, and we've seen that help happening in these sessions. I think it says a lot that I think a lot of the girls probably come to the sessions every week, maybe if they're not even interested in the topic, but they just want to hang out with their mates. And as we're hanging out, we're learning together, we're bringing each other up. And I think that's probably the most powerful thing it's driven, finding a comfortable place to talk about technology and make friends who can work on technology with you.
And we've definitely heard from some girls who otherwise felt alone. They may be the only girls studying and into this stuff at their school. And yet here they are turning up every week to have, hundreds of other girls just like them. Even if they're the only girl at their school, when you've got over 150 schools involved, there's more than 150 of you, even if you're the only one at your school. So it's something really, really special, and we're really, really proud. So a big thank you, Lizzie and Matt and Microsoft, for working with us on that.
And thanks for sharing, Sarah, Laura and Ruby. I think it's just amazing to see the engagement from the girls, the community, as you mentioned, that we've sort of built together, and also for them to see amazing role models like the three of you in terms of what they could be in the future. There's often that quote where it's, you can't be what you can't see. And so we're just really proud of what we've built in partnership with you. And I guess as a closing question, what advice would you give to those who are watching who want to contribute and support young women in their own communities to become technologists? Do you have any tips for them?
Yeah, I think, one, tell them to come to Microsoft. Tell the girls in your life to come join us at Microsoft Mondays, girlgeekacademy.com/Microsoft. Plug. But I think as well, it's, it is about friendship. So if you have a daughter or if you have a niece or, somebody, helping them find friends, that's how you feel less alone. And so in our case, we're creating a community to find those friends online, but the way you support them is to help them not be alone. And sometimes you might have to be that friend until they find someone their own age, but that's okay too. We all need to start somewhere, and that includes with building friendships.
Oh, what a great way to end the segment. And thank you for joining. Really excited to sort of build this community further as well. And I think for everyone watching, we hope this inspired you to support the young women in your lives to become technologists as well. So if you'd like to learn more around Girl Geeks and Microsoft Mondays, please check out the link in the notes below. And now it's time for the second half of the segment, where Stuart and Nick will share how you can scale a startup idea from 0 to global in 15 minutes or less. So over to you, Stuart.
Hey, my name's Stu and this is Nick. We're going to tell you the cool story of a website idea that we had. So without any further ado, hey, Nick, how you going?
Good, Stu. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, gee, it's been a really busy week this week with all my developers, all my cloudy devs. Yeah.
Right.
How about
writing
you?
lots of code.
Yeah,
It's been a really busy week. I'm learning about like Azure Bicep and a bunch of cool infrastructure as code stuff though, so I'm really enjoying it. Hey,
awesome.
can you just give me a second? I've just got to take this call. Hey. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll pick him up. Yeah. Yeah. Where does Jenny have to go? Right. Okay. And the dog. Is that Terry? Yeah. Okay. Where are we taking Terry? Right. And pick him up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I know. It just feels like I'm running a taxi service sometimes, right? It's not like this is Dad's taxi or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Look, I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye. Hey, yeah, sorry about that. You know, it's like a family life. What were you mentioning something about the cloud and building a site or something?
Yeah. I was telling you about that the other day. I was thinking that we should build a bit of a website as a bit of a hobby project, but hey, I mean, I have the same busy life as you with my kids and pets and whatnot. I've had an idea. Leave it with me, Nick. I'll come back.
Okay.
Hey, Nick, how you going?
Good, Stu. How are you? What's going on today?
Oh, well, did you have a good weekend, I guess, first of all, you know?
Yeah, I did. I think I wore my tires down a bit, driving everybody around and, you know, doing stuff, but that's part of life, really. What about you? Did you end up getting that website built?
Yeah, I had kids sport all day on Saturday, but on Sunday I had a few hours spare and I put together a bit of a website that I'd like to show you.
Cool.
Yeah, I took your phrase you had when you spoke to your wife. This is Dad's Taxi, the website. Nick, what do you think?
I mean, it looks fantastic. What happens if you push one of those buttons?
Yeah, so if I push this, it shows you a simulation of your regular day. You know, like it shows you your tennis collection, you drop off at school. You know, the red ones are where you forgot a child or a fur animal or something like that, which occasionally happens. Yeah. So I made that, and then I've got this other button here that's like a chaotic day, where everyone moves at once. You know, you can see all the dots. Yeah.
Sometimes I think we just end up calling that Wednesday in this household. So I mean, I'm impressed. It's like it's Monday now, and that was Sunday. How did you build it so quickly?
Yeah, well, what I used was I basically used Azure Websites. So I just knocked up some HTML and I used Azure Websites and Azure Maps and just got it all deployed basically. So I can show you here as well. I put it all in GitHub. You know, I'm a bit of a DevOps guru, as you know, in my spare time. I like.
Well, I mean, you are wearing a GitHub shirt, so it would have been surprised if you didn't.
I've got
the
t-shirt.
GitHub, really. And how did you use Github Actions?
Yeah, I did. Let me show you this. Hold on, I'm just switching over to another thing here. So this is literally it. So I used GitHub Actions to deploy it. I used GitHub to store the source code. you can basically see a whole bunch of commits here. And yeah, so when I use GitHub Actions here, this is a full workflow that does my build and deploy.
That's really cool. So you can make your code changes and then just like submit it to GitHub, and then it will do the heavy lifting of it, copying it to all of the servers and that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it goes to my it gets pushed out to Azure App Service, and then it becomes live.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it's
how did you sorry, how did you do the maps though? I didn't realize you were like a GIS programmer or something like that, right? Okay.
Oh no, I've done a bit of map stuff in the past, but not a lot. I'm not a cartographer.
Right. Yeah.
Basically, I just use Azure Maps, which is a fully managed map service. And all to include Azure Maps, all you need to do is this here. You just include this script.
Right.
So a little bit here, then you can see it, Nick. Yeah, you just include a a reference.
Okay.
To it. I included another one, which is some animations just to make the dots move around. And it's pretty much as easy as that. You pass it your key and off you go. And you get a beautiful site like this. So, you can move around. If I press this, there's a bit of a bug at the moment where it moves across to the other area. So,
Well, my kids like bushwalking, so I don't think that's that's not sort of too untrue, really. I mean, I think this site is pretty great. I'm impressed you got it done so quickly. Do you mind if I tell a few friends about it? Like, can I send this around?
Absolutely, yeah. Hey, Nick, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I've got some news. There's a bit of an issue with Dad's Taxi.
Right.
Who did you actually tell?
Look, I just put it on Hacker News. I thought it was kind of cool. Tweeted it to a few friends. The sort of usual thing that you do when you find something you like. You share it with your networks, right? Put it on LinkedIn, probably.
Yeah. Well, actually, Nick, it turns out that people overseas in the US, in Europe, in Japan, in China, they all need Dad's Taxi as well, and they have the similar thing to you and I. It's not just us that do Dad's Taxi. Yeah, absolutely. I actually because I was getting so many comments from the US and Europe, I made a page here that actually shows me the performance from the US and Europe as well as Australia. Yeah.
How did you do that?
I made an Azure function. Basically, the Azure function is. Do you know about Azure Functions? I should ask you that.
No. Like, are they where you can run bits of code and you don't have to pay for a whole server? Like, I used to be a server guy, right? So serverless, right? There's still a server though, right?
Yeah. Worry about the servers less. That's right. Yeah.
But worry about your servers less. I like that. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So with Azure Functions, you can use .NET, and I'm a .NET guy, so I normally use that. But there was a cool Node.js example from Anthony Chu here. So basically, what I did, I just grabbed that, and he was using this library called Puppeteer that runs the Chromium browser in headless mode, which is to take the screenshot and generate an image of the page. And I've deployed this. So if I just talk about the function a little bit first. All you do is you create a browser in JavaScript. Most of these lines of code here are just like the image quality and stuff, like extra stuff. I create a browser, create a page, and then this is how you go to a URL in that browser. So my Azure function spins up somewhere around the world, starts up from zero, starts running this code, and then at the end here, it grabs a screenshot, and then it returns the image. So most of these, it's only 65 lines of code, and I can run that anywhere Azure Functions run, which is super cool to get an idea about the performance from that. So if I just cut here, so like not everyone understands networking, but what I did here was a pretty simple view of the world. Our people from the USA are coming 7,500 miles to get to our Australian Azure Taxi website. The European users are coming 10,000 miles, or they'd probably say kilometers.
They'd probably say kilometers, but yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a long time. So what that turns into is the lag that we see there accessing the site.
Right.
Yeah. So
okay.
I'm not sure what to do to fix this.
What about I've heard of Azure Front Door. Have you heard of that before?
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. My customers use it. Apparently, it's the thing that does Office 365. Azure Front Door is the thing that does the networking for Office 365 and Dynamics and things like that, and the Azure portal.
Yep. Xbox, Bing, all those other big services. And I personally think that Dad's Taxi is probably on par with those services and could stand to benefit from using the same sort of delivery network that they use. What do you reckon?
An application delivery network sounds like a great idea, Nick. Why don't I go away and see what I can come up with? Hey, Nick.
Stu. Yeah, good. How's Dad's Taxi going now?
I did a thing. Yeah.
What have you done? Did you get Front Door implemented? Did you look at it?
I did. Welcome to dadstaxiglobal.com. What do you think of that? Hey?
I mean, I think it's a great branding move, definitely. It's only going to make Dad's Taxi even more popular, especially if it's now like performant. How does it go when you access it now?
Yeah. So what I did here was that same test. I used my Azure functions running around the world. This Azure function running in Australia, I'm getting 457 milliseconds. USA, I'm getting 497. Europe, I'm getting 502. This is using Azure Front Door to send them to, I actually redeployed the site to Europe and US as well. So it sends them to the site based on where they are, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, so that means that if I'm in the US and I go to Azure Front Door now, I'll go to the US version of that site. Is that how that works?
Absolutely. I made a diagram. I knew you'd ask me lots of questions, Nick.
That's what I like doing. So,
so all of our users don't talk to the website anymore. They talk to Azure Front Door. So our USA user talks to dadstaxiglobal.com, our Europe user, our Australian user. And then you can see on the right here, these are the deployments I have of my Dad's Taxi US, EU, and Australia. And basically it sends them to the fastest one for that user's application.
That's really cool. And I noticed you've got a custom domain and an HTTPS on that as well. Did you have to go and fiddle around with the certificate and that sort of stuff?
No, it provisions the certificate automatically for you.
That's fantastic, Stu. I think with Front Door now, Dad's Taxi is kind of globally ready to be in the hands of everybody who has kids and cars and dogs and cats and grandparents and anyone who needs to drive anything anywhere as part of familial responsibilities will be able to benefit from the website that is Dad's Taxi. So thanks for showing me how you put it all together.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, how you going?
Yeah, good. I've been having to think about what might be next for Dad's Taxi.
Oh yeah, me too. What have you come up with?
Yeah, so I've got this idea that instead of Azure App Service, what I could use is Kubernetes and blockchain and AI and I was thinking some machine learning. Maybe we can figure out where how many times the car goes down a certain road, or your predictive dog washing analysis or something like that might be a bit of fun. Yeah. I think yours is a bit more real world than my blockchain. Hey.
Well, I mean, the blockchain has got its uses, sure. Yeah. Cool.
So I think there's lots we could do with Dad's Taxi, and I'm looking forward to working together with your ideas and my coding. I think go far.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing what the next version has in stock. Okay, so that was the story of Nick and I's fun that we had building a website, building Dad's Taxi. So that's the end of the show. Thank you very much to all of you for watching. Thanks to Lizzie, Matt, and the Girl Geek Academy
for their contributions to the show as well. The show notes are in the link that you can see below, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.